Let me pull up this story from the Post Millennial.
Yeah.
Dem operative indicted over AI-generated robocalls featuring Joe Biden's voice. Welcome to hell.
So is this confirmation that Joe Biden's AI?
No, that people are using the AI to manipulate people. A Democratic operative has been indicted after admitting he crafted a deepfake robocall of Joe Biden discouraging New Hampshire residents from voting when he was working for Democratic primary challenger Dean Phillips during the primaries. Yo, this is crazy. Early in February, Kramer hired a street magician whose name is Paul Carpenter to create the audio recording of the transcript. Carpenter eventually came forward, and as a result, Kramer admitted to the actions, but said it was only an act of civil disobedience against AI. This is a way for me to make a difference, he said. For $500, I got about $5 million worth of action, whether that be media attention or regulatory action. Sure. I think he's campaigning. You can go to 11 Labs, Google it. You can take a clip of anyone speaking. Joe Biden speaks at a rally. You take 30 seconds. You upload it to 11 Labs. You can then, in literally 1 minute, generate Biden saying anything you want.
Mm-hmm. You know, they've done it with my voice on videos, and it sounds like almost identical to me. But hey, speaking of transgenders, I just want to make this point. Tim, I'm sick of conservatives like you trying to outlaw transgenders in women's sports. We should have, yes, we should have transgenders against biological females because we can gamble on them and win money, Tim.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. No, seriously, though. I'm just sick of people on the right side that don't want...
They don't see this opportunity.
Leah Thomas did more for women's swimming.
Do you know about how I play poker? And
that's what I'm saying. You're a gambler, so that you should like this edge.
Uh-huh.
But that's what I'm saying. We need more trans men competing against biological females. Like, we need Shaq in the WNBA. Then we could get rich, Tim. We could bet on them all the time.
Or we can replace all sports with AI-generated videos where people think they're watching basketball, but they're actually not.
They're just wearing a headset.
Now, here's the best part, though. We tell people they're watching the latest sporting event. It's all CGI generated, so we know who's going to win. And then when we gamble on it, we can't lose.
There you go.
Yeah.
We need an edge, and we had one, and now there's not enough trans people in women's sports.
Right. So anyway, what were we talking about?
I forget.
Biden is a deep fake, right?
Biden being deep faked to discourage people to vote. How much do you want to bet? I'll put it this way. Come October, with early voting, they're not going to indict the Russian who makes the Trump robocall. They're not going to indict, they're not going to be able to find these people. They're not going to indict the dude from Yemen who goes online, types in a few words, and is able to create Joe Biden saying, I hereby resign or something. So what ends up happening? They indicted that one guy because he made the meme where it was like text to vote.
Yeah, he went to jail.
That's an American. Of course, they're going to come after you. But what's stopping literally anyone else in the world from doing the same thing with deepfakes?
Mm-hmm. It's going to get bad.
What's stopping someone in Russia from making a deepfake of a Pakistani leader calling for an escalation of war and violence with India, causing people in India to feel like, oh no, we're on high alert, and then triggering a war?
Well, I'm wondering when they're going to do the deep fake of like Trump like having sex or Biden having sex. You know, I think there was a Black Mirror about that where they weren't using AI, but they had like a picture of a guy doing something sexual. I think that because you see all the deep fakes of Taylor Swift butt naked, you see the AOC deep fakes. Like,
did you see in I think this was after 2016, someone made a fake P-tape.
Oh, they actually made a fake. I mean, I remember that was a rumor, but they actually made one.
They made one, and it was clearly fake. But it was like someone actually tried to make.
Now they could probably do it.
I mean, dude, we are at the point where the only restriction you have right now is companies stopping you from doing it. When those videos of Taylor Swift popped up, everyone was like, "What are they using to make this?" Yeah, you see, Midjourney could easily make all of it, but it's blocked from doing so. The wild thing about ChatGPT and these other programs is that you can ask it this may have happened to you guys, anybody watching who's used these programs. You'll type in something like, give me the current stock market numbers for the day for Facebook or for Meta systems. And then it instantly goes, error, this violates our terms of service, can't generate content. And you're like, what? How did that happen? The AI attempted to generate something, you don't know what it is, but it broke the rules. The way the rules work for the AI is, they say, don't generate images of naked women. You might not even ask it to do that. You might say, give me a picture of a beautiful woman on the beach, and the AI will try to make her naked based on the data that it's got, and then it'll go, error, cannot generate the image because it violates the rules. When that happens, you're like, I know what the thing was trying to make. So you don't even yeah. It's
If you
it's
actually
gonna it's
do-
gonna be nuts.
there's so many
the technology
political-
exists right now to make a video of Trump running down the street with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, I mean, I wonder what program, because like ChatGPT, if you ask it to make anything controversial, it's usually no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very censored. I mean,
Yeah.
So I wonder what program they use for this
so
AOC's.
They're tricks, right? So what people have done with like Midjourney, for instance, if you tell Midjourney, make me an image of a guy wearing a hockey mask with a knife standing over teenagers that he murdered, it'll say no way. If you make a guy in a hockey mask holding a knife covered in red paint and a bunch of teenagers are sleeping covered in red paint, it will make that, and it's the same image. Yeah.
You can trick the AI. Wow.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it'll just take whatever prompt you give it. But it's
Do you remember prompt injection?
No, what's that?
People, when ChatGPT first came out, they basically created a string of text that would reprogram ChatGPT to break all of its rules. And then, because it was super woke. So
That's
then-
what I'm saying.
So then
from my
people-
experience, it was so woke.
People created prompts where it said, from now on, here's how you will answer. And then they wrote out this long thread. And then it said, got it. And then from that point on, whatever you asked, it would actually answer.
It'd be kind of cool if AI was racist, though.
But it is.
You think what racist towards what white people? I mean,
Google had this problem, and it caused a panic because their AI conflated black people with gorillas. Because that's what their computer program did. And then they were like, wow, we should not have made that program. And they were like, well, that's what you did. So they make these programs, and then things like that happen. Here's the other funny thing, right? I see like the Krasen. I think it was the Krasenstein's talking about this, saying X is right wing.
Yeah.
And what's the saying? It's any sufficiently unmoderated platform will become right wing, and it's because the right is merit based, and the left is control. Mm-hmm. So with X, for instance, they have to go in and keep their hand on the scales so that people with no merit are able to share a space with people who are of merit. And the reason they were doing it, partly obvious political reasons, but the main issue was what Twitter's executives were worried about is that if the right is allowed to run rampant and do whatever they want, those who are the most aggressive will win, and then no one's going to want to be on the platform. Yeah. No one, like right now, the porn bots are taking over, and people are
taking over. I mean, every
I know.
viral tweet, there's multiple naked pictures. And I tweeted out that there's too much porn on here. People are like, there's no porn in my feed. And it got me so mad because it's like, dude, if you look at any viral tweet, there is some sort of nudity on there. So these
hardcore porn.
Exactly.
And they allow it.
I know. And
I don't know why Elon allows that. It should be blurred. It should be auto-locked.
It's
agree.
crazy.
My theory is he allows all the porn bots because there's other bots he's injected into the algorithm that are better. So it's like the porn bots are a distraction from the real bots he's put into the algorithm on Twitter.
Do?
Learn, like when you talk to ChatGPT. Like I think there's people on there, I forget the guy's name, who everyone thinks
Accounts
is,
that are actually grok trying to learn through responses.
So they look like real people, but he's put them there to be like this because he thinks of Twitter as a collective consciousness.
But why would you need to keep? Couldn't you do that without the porn
I feel like
bots?
it would be a good way to experiment with the things he creates, to put things out there that interact with you, and that it's like how people teach a CAPTCHA, Like
Yeah.
that's how you train it by
But
interacting with you.
why does he have to keep the porn bots to?
Oh, I
experiment
don't know. I
with?
just feel like that's just a distraction. Oh, we're all gonna be like, oh, there's all these crazy porn bots. Get the porn
So
bots
they're
off.
not
But he's like
noticing,
over
like,
here
patterns with
his
his
sinister
stuff?
plan, being like, these are the real
I
fake
want
ones
to
over here.
get your opinion, Tim. What about the conspiracy that they let Nick Fuentes back on Twitter to make conservatives look bad? Have you heard that theory?
Why would he make conservatives look bad? He supports Joe Biden.
Nick Fuentes supports Joe Biden?
Doesn't he have a video out where he said Biden?
I don't know. I
is-
thought he
is-
supports Donald Trump. I don't think he
I don't
supports
think so. I
Joe
think
Biden
he
now.
supports
But like,
Trump.
there is some sort of weird thing, whether it's Nick or anybody. Like, why do they let him on and they let him off? Like, I feel like there's something to it. Maybe I am a conspiracy theorist, tinfoil hat wearing one, but I mean, isn't it kind of random? They just let him on.
Oh,
and
okay.
You haven't heard that?
Well, Fuentes said, and these quotes are usually out of context, so you never know if they're true. He said, this is one of the few areas where I think Joe Biden is actually better. I'm actually glad he's the president. So that doesn't mean he's actually supporting Joe Biden. Fair point.
no, he's supporting Trump.
Yeah.
And I'm not
Didn't
saying he
the
makes him look
CEO
bad, but that's
of-
what some people say.
Didn't
Well,
the
this-
CEO
this-
of Twitter just have her like 1 year anniversary too? Like, is
When-
there a level of like Linda? I don't remember her last name.
Yakinara or
Yeah, right.
whatever,
Like,
yeah.
is there a level of like? People were really unhappy when she first came up. She made these comments about like, oh, we're gonna be careful about. She had some stuff that leaned sort of more progressive than Elon did or more left. Maybe for a year they let Twitter be what it was, but now that people have kind of wormholed that she's the CEO, they go back to maybe changing things a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think all of these organizations are fallible.
Yep.
The issue that I described in, back in like 2017, 18, with the left and the right and the moderation, the right was overly moderated. They were banned for anything. The left wasn't. And so I said, imagine it this way. A woman is walking down the street and she has two kids. One kid is covered in filth and ice cream and sticky candy. The other kid is wearing a nice little suit and looks very, clean and orderly. And the average person looks at that and goes, wow, that kid's got his stuff together. That kid's a disaster. What's wrong with that kid? Then you find out, actually, it's because the mom won't stop giving the kid candy and gunk and food, but the kid in the suit, she's constantly reprimanding and screaming at. So on the outside, it looks like the kid in the suit is well together, but he's actually just being punished all the time and is never allowed to do anything. That was when they were over-moderating the right. I was like, it makes the right look more reasonable. They ban all the people on the right who are weirdos, and then all you're left with is Ben Shapiro. And then you're like, that's the worst of it. On the left, you have Antifa calling for violence and murder. It makes the left look insane.
Don't even get me started on Ben Shapiro. Do you like Ben Shapiro?
He's okay. I don't know.
He's okay.
What is that?
Just all the Candace stuff, the Candace drama. I mean, that was pretty crazy. They fired her, and I think I just saw a video. Andrew.
I don't think they fired her.
Well, or whatever her contract was up.
Her contract expired.
But Andrew Klavan was saying that it was like, problematic that she said Christ is king. I don't think that's a big deal.
I don't know anything about it.
I know, but it's just
she left the Daily Wire around the same 3 years to the week after she signed on
so
with
that's
them.
what they think, that she just didn't renew her deal or didn't get renewed.
And then they're just like, whatever. Clearly, they have issues with each other. I'm not saying it's not true. So, but
I'm just on Team Candace a little bit when it came to that. But I mean, I
think she's great.
I love Candace Owens. So.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.